Psalm 23. And, excuse me, the Lord is my shepherd. I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. We've talked about the first part. I lack nothing. He's my shepherd. He makes me lie down in green pastures. And now he leads me beside quiet waters. All of this is so beautifully and poetically symbolic that we know he's not literally leading us, and or making us lie down. There is a little bit of an interesting thing there to me, and it may mean nothing, but when did that ever stop me from talking about something? The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lay down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. Did you see? There's a little difference there. He makes me to lie down. He leads me beside quiet waters. Excuse me. There are times when God, and I shared my story, when God made me lie down. At the time, this was not a happy thing for me. And yet I look back on it and realize some of the gifts that God gave me during that time are, they're just infinitely valuable. He made me lie down, but he leads me beside quiet waters. Several things here. First of all, when I'm thirsty, all I need is the presence of water, right? And if you're a sheep, you need quiet water. I'll tell you why in a minute, if you probably already know. He leads me beside quiet waters. He doesn't take me into the quiet waters. He just leads me beside them. And really, instinct will do the rest. It's instinct that makes me drink. He can't make me drink. He can make me lie down, but he's not going to make me drink. He's going to lead me beside quiet waters. Now, I got some ideas on this, but let's start here. Why quiet waters? Well, you realize that sheep, unless they have been just days ago shorn, are kind of sponges. Now, wool doesn't, a sheep's wool is not like cotton that just absorbs. But if a sheep goes into, what's the word I'm looking for, running, streaming, quickly running waters, sheep don't swim, I guess what I'm trying to say. And they'll die, they'll drown. So quiet waters matter. Okay. He leads me beside quiet waters. What in reality, the reality of your life and my life, what does that correspond to? I can tell you, you already know this, there's not a whole lot of our lives that is captured in the word picture of quiet waters. There are times when the waters are quiet, life is calm, it's good. We need those times. And God provides them. And yet there are many other times where the water is not quiet. Life isn't simple. Life is complicated and messy and confusing. Well, okay. In those times, can God somehow lead me beside quiet waters? I think He can. There are times when once I get through those things, quiet waters await. But I believe there is a sense in which He can lead me beside quiet waters, even in the midst of this complex, complicated, frustrating, sometimes even damaging times of life. And this is where I see it. I think it can be done almost every day by almost all of us. Where do you find quiet waters in your life? I can tell you where I most often find quiet waters is when I take measures to quiet my own soul, to quiet the noise in my head. I do this. I'm grateful that I can do this first thing in the morning with a quiet time. And for me, both those words matter, quiet and time. I have, when we visit our middle daughter, Katie, with two grade school boys, the quiet of quiet time is kind of relative. If you spend any time around grade school boys, you know, quiet just isn't part of their world. I mean, they're just not quiet. And so I have to quiet myself while there's noise around me. It can be done. And I'm not talking about some kind of transcendental meditation where you empty your mind. What I'm talking about is just focusing in such a way so that you do truly quiet yourself. And for me, as I read Scripture, and I'm going to be honest with you, not every day does this happen well. In fact, this morning it didn't happen very well. But as I read Scripture, I can quiet myself and focus on the voice of God. I can't always pull it off, but it can be done. And I can say this from my own personal experience. But God doesn't make me do that. My shepherd doesn't make me get quiet. He leads me beside quiet waters. I get to quiet myself and take advantage of still waters, quiet waters. Like that's a long way around the barn to say, I think there are so many things that recommend a quiet time as a smart thing for anybody, everybody to do. Maybe you already have a quiet time. I'm just an advocate of it. Okay. Makes me lie down in green pastures. And then this next phrase, He refreshes my soul. I like the version that says He restores my soul. See, because all of this lying down in green pastures, being led beside quiet waters, what's the purpose? It's to restore my soul. This is all on a soul level. These beautiful pastoral word pictures are obviously not about the physical, but about the spiritual, about the soul. Now, I have a struggle in differentiating what is the soul, because there's the spirit. Is it different than the soul? Obviously, the soul is not the body. Is the soul in my mind? Is pretty complicated. Maybe this is a way to think about the soul. My soul, that is the real, essential, deepest me. And that there are things that happen on that level that sometimes never get out here to the physical, to my face and hands. They're held close. Occasionally, I can't help it. It just gets out. But my soul, the essence of who I am, I believe needs constant restoring, constant refreshing. And I also, in my personal experience, I believe that I don't get to command God to do anything, but I can invite him, and then I can, because of his response to me, I can partner with him in this restoring of soul. I can partner with him as I lie down in green pastures, as I find myself being led by quiet waters. God restores my soul. Let me just share a couple of ways I find God restoring my soul, and these are not big epiphanies. They're pretty simple, very common things. Great music, it restores my soul. And I've told you this before, but it's not all church music. It's not all worship music. And you already know, if you've been listening, I kind of have this thing about worship music. I love good music that is crafted, lyrics that fit the music. I do this little old guys workout Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at the Y, and when I'm on the elliptical and on the stationary bike, I listen to music. And this last time, I used my whole the playlist of Rich Mullins music. You know, one of the things about Rich Mullins that I most like is that he crafted the melodies, he crafted the chord progressions, and boy, did he craft the lyrics. I love that. Okay, you have your own standards for what makes good music. Good music might help restore your soul. Good literature, challenging reading that is encouraging and provocative. And by provocative, I mean it nudges me to think. Nature. I'm blessed to live in a place where I get to see nature every time I leave our housing addition. I see what I think is the wonder and beauty of the spring mountains. Other people, encouraging people. I have a short list of encouraging people who restore my soul when I hang out with them, when I spend time with them on the phone or face to face or in emails. You have things. Maybe today's a good idea to make a list of things that help restore your soul. The green pastures and the quiet waters for you. Because we have a shepherd. and He wants to restore and refresh our souls. See you next time on Soul Care with Stevie Boy.